Lovinaka. My name is Emily, and I'm going to present to you today the analysis of the impact of COVID-19 at the Fiji Marriott Resort Momi Bay. Looking at the analysis on this assignment, we've had the guest that was impacted, and Marriott's Fiji major market countries were the US market, Australian, Chinese, and New Zealand market. And come COVID-19, the international border restrictions, the resort had to downsize greatly to targeting only the local market and even further reduce rates. And having to depend on just the locals with the current market, it doesn't come a shock that the resort is getting as low as 5% occupancy percentage. Looking at the occupancy from last year compared to this year, around this time last year, Fiji Marriott was sitting on 90 to 95%, and due to COVID-19, there was a great reduction right down to 2 to 3% occupancy. In the impact on the rooms, initially Marriott Fiji catered for guests and selling a total of 250 rooms. Unfortunately, this was slashed, and Fiji Marriott is now selling up to 60 rooms time frame. With most of the room being forced to close, only 40 out of 60 duplex mbure and around 20 overwater lagoon bure are on the market right now. The other impact on COVID-19 were the staff. Effective from 1st April 2020, most of the it was all expatriate and management salaries were slashed down to 50%. And then we had the permanent associates that were asked to take annual leave and thereafter leave without pay. And then we had the all flexi part-timers associates that were released. They had their employment seized, and we had the associate that were required to work to maintain the resort upkeep was rostered on reduced hours. The other impact was the sales at the resort. When the pandemic hit Fiji Marriott and it planned, and the focus of the resort the plan was to have the resort remain open till December 2020. And since we do have a few groups that have planned to come in, and these groups are all confirmed. Compared to previously confirmed bookings, guests they booked prior to their they booked prior to their normal date. Now the resort is relying only on the daily reservation, since locals they book on a daily basis. The sales executives are still marketing the resort. We've still got the local specials on the media and newspapers. These are the promotions that are going out, and they go. And right now, the local market go as low as $209 Fijian per night, up to 2 adults and 2 children. The new promotions at the moment, having a public holiday. At the moment, the new promotions are on public holidays. They've introduced and they've collaborated with local artists and groups to promote this local market. There's a new other promotion that's going on, and sales have come up with, is the new day pass, which is now introduced, where locals can come and use the facilities at the resort, and they get a day pass. The other impact on COVID-19 was the department. So all other local departments were made redundant except for the expats and the line staff who are still working on reduced hours. Expenses at the resort, looking at the expenses, these are the operating expenses, including the bills, FE bills, water bills, gas bills, the salary, the F&B staff, meals, and the staff transport. All these costs combined greatly exceeds the revenue. Again, hence the resort is at risk for further reducing staff or closing the resort down. Assistance at the moment, the room revenue received from previous guest reservations will not be used, as it's still unclear on when these guests will still be traveling to Fiji, Hence, the owner, FNPF, Fiji National Provident Fund, has to step in to assist the resort with financial control. And other operational analysis would be the plans. As this continues with no time frame, and we don't know when this will go back to normal, at this stage the hotel industry must face the new normal. Should there be little or no improvements seen with the current ongoing local market, the resort might further reduce staff. However, if this continues, then the resort may be forced to shut down entirely. Now I will show you the graph on the occupancy from last year compared to this year. Looking at the graph, this is the Fiji Marriott room occupancy from January to April 2019 and 2020. As you see, the light purple graph, that states the 2019 occupancy. We were sitting in January last year, we were sitting around 100%, up to maybe 99% occupancy, while this year in January, we were sitting up to 70% occupancy. Compared to last year in Feb, we were sitting on 96%, while this year it was around 70%. Looking at March, March we were sitting on almost 100% occupancy, while this year we were sitting on a 35% occupancy. And April, as you can see, we were sitting on 100% last year, while we had no guests this year. Thank you. To conclude, the impact of the pandemic continued to impact the Fiji Marriott Resort Momi Bay, and there is significant uncertainty around the return of the commercial flights at the Nandia International Airport. And at the moment, we are going on a second round of COVID-19 cases, and COVID-19 cases developing in our source market, such as Australia and New Zealand. At the moment, the future of Fiji Marriott will depend on the travel ban, and hopefully this will normalize as soon as the pandemic ends. For now, the resort remains open and will only be focusing on the local market. Recommendation of this assignment was, after doing this survey with Fiji Marriott Resort, we have seen that 80% of the resort assets have been made redundant and terminated. The other recommendation that we saw, that there were proper channels followed and that all this staff went through consultation before they got terminated. Upon terminations, the staff, they received their redundancy package, which would equal to 1 week's pay for 1 complete off-year service. The resort, once the resort will resume operations as normal, there will be opportunity for these staff that got terminated. They may get their appropriate positions back, and the resort will remain open. The resort will reopen in the future as soon as the travel ban is lifted, and for now they're still focusing on the local market to keep the resort in operation. Minaka.